Okay, in this video, we're going to be looking at integers and exponents. Notice the two expressions here. At first glance, they seem the same. You got a negative, you have a 5, and then you have an exponent of 2. But these two things are not the same. They have different meanings, and they have different answers. And that's why they're written differently as well. Let's take a look at the expression on the left-hand side. Here I have a negative 5 that's being squared. This means I have negative 5 times negative 5. Right? That's what that squared means, negative 5 times negative 5. And negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Now on the right-hand side, probably a better way to say this instead of negative 5 squared is the opposite of 5 squared. So this means I'm going to take the 5 and square it first, and then take its opposite. So what I have here is 5 squared, which is 25, and I'm going to take the opposite of that, which is going to be negative 25. So these two things are not equal. And you need to be sure that you understand that, because even in intermediate algebra and college algebra, when you get to use a calculator, you need to understand the difference between these two, because if you don't put the expression in your calculator the correct way, your calculator is not going to help you. It's going to give you the wrong answer. So you have to be sure that you understand that these parentheses around this negative 5 here is important. It has a different meaning than when you don't have parentheses. Okay, now I want us to look at these two expressions, negative 1 raised to the 6th power and negative 1 raised to the 5th power. So let's first of all write this out based on the meaning of those exponents. Okay, now we're going to multiply these out. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to pair up these two numbers and these two numbers and these two numbers. Right, so when I multiply negative 1 times negative 1, I get positive 1. And same thing here with these next two factors. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And here at the end, I also have a positive 1. So now I'm just multiplying 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. Over here on the right-hand side, when I pair these up, I end up having 1 left over. So what I have here is 1 times negative 1. And that's going to give me an answer of negative 1. So what I want you to notice here is that when this exponent is even, I can pair up my negative 1s, right? That's what even means. It means that you can divide it by 2, so they pair up evenly. If this exponent is an odd number, then you're going to have a negative 1 over here left over that doesn't have anything to pair up with, and your answer is going to end up being negative. So we can expand our rules here to say that negative 1 to an even power is going to give you positive 1. Negative 1 to an odd power is going to give you an answer of negative 1. And this rule is going to work for any base that is negative. As long as you have a negative number to an even power, the answer is going to be positive, and a negative number to an odd power, the answer is going to be negative.